Hi, Ted Morrissey here, talking about my book, Aspiring Child, a biography of Mary W. Shelley in sonnets. The good vibes just keep coming. I offered on social media review copies to anyone who'd be interested in taking a look and maybe giving their feedback, writing a review of the book. And a couple people have taken me up on that. And one of those folks, and I'm afraid I may not get the name quite right, Delara Calkin is her name, and she posted a brief statement, but a really positive one, on Instagram, where she goes by the handle Ode to Shelley. That's at Ode to Shelley, and I really appreciated her taking a look at the book and her response to it for one reason in particular, and that is that the other reviews I've gotten have been from people who probably aren't totally familiar, very familiar with Mary Shelley and her life story and so on. But Delara is a Shelley scholar. In fact, she's writing her MA thesis on Percy and Mary and the whole romantic circle that they traveled in. And so I was really curious what she would think of the book, particularly in terms of its accuracy, because I did want it to be an accurate biography of Mary Shelley told via sonnets. In fact, as I've mentioned elsewhere, I actually wrote 103 sonnets, but only 100 of them appear in the collection. And two of the three that I excluded were ones that I wrote pretty early on, and I realized eventually that I kind of got some stuff wrong. I kind of misrepresented in some ways Mary's life or some aspect of her biography, and I tried to fix the sonnets, tried to make them accurate and still be, effective sonnets, and I just couldn't quite do it. So instead of putting some either defective sonnets in the collection or sonnets that misrepresented Mary and her chronology and her life story, I just decided to take them out. But I was curious what this particular reader, this particular scholar would think, and this is what she wrote in part and posted on Instagram. She says the book creates a feeling of a table conversation with Mary Shelley, where long-awaited questions and admiration become a dialogue, even without her reply. I truly liked the tone, which remains simple yet deeply poetic, making it a compelling biographical encounter with Mary's life through sonnets. I highly recommend. Again, and I highly appreciate this romantics scholar's thoughts on the book and her recommendation for it as well.